Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys my flawless foundation routine. I haven't done one of these videos in so long. I actually can't remember the last time I did it. But a lot of you guys have been asking what foundation I've been wearing lately, how I apply it, and like the tools I use, and all types of questions related to my face and my foundation. So I figured I would do an updated one. I do show my foundation routine kind of in every makeup tutorial, but this is one video so you guys can get like the real deal, all the details and everything in one video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. But real quick, if you're just checking out my channel for the first time, please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any other videos from me in the future. I post 2 times a week this summer, every Monday and every Thursday. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and let me know in the comments down below what other videos in this sort of category that you guys want to see next. But yeah, if you guys want to see my flawless foundation routine, then just keep on watching. So the first step is to obviously make sure your skin is nice and hydrated. My favorite moisturizer to use is by Kiehl's. This is their Ultra Facial Moisturizer. I already applied this to my skin a little earlier, so I'm going to skip on to primer. My favorite primer to use is by Too Faced. It's the Hangover RX primer. I have normal to dry combination skin. It really varies depending on the season, but I like to use a hydrating based primer because I feel like it just makes my skin look more glowy and look more plump when I apply my foundation. This primer also smells like coconut, so it literally feels like the tropics on your face. I highly recommend it. Now, because it is the summertime and I tend to get a little shiny throughout the day, I like to go in with a mattifying primer. This one is by Rimmel. It's their Stay Matte primer. And I just put this around my T-zone, so just around my mouth and then right above my brows, because for some reason I always get really shiny around there. That's like one of the only spots I actually have a bunch of oil. So I'm just going to let this primer set on my face for a little bit. In the meanwhile, you can fill in your brows, but my brows are already filled in, so I'm going to just chill for a couple minutes. So once that primer is set into my skin, I like to go in with a color corrector. This one is my favorite, the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the orange corrector shade. And I like to color correct around my mouth and just a bit under my eyes, just to remove any dullness around my mouth. Like if I just put foundation right over top of that without color correcting, I can look like I have a 5 o'clock shadow, so this is a must for me. I like to just stipple that and blend it into my skin. And I also like to bring a bit underneath my eyes and right on top of my birthmark. And I just blend it in with that same brush. And just like the primer, I like to let the color corrector set into my skin for a couple minutes, just so that when I go ahead and apply the foundation over top, it doesn't mix in and make my face look like an Oompa Loompa, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So for foundation, I'll be using my favorite. This is the Lancome Tinted Dual Ultra 24-Hour Makeup. This is seriously thebomb.com. I like to do about 2 pumps. I usually use less than 2 pumps, but just to be safe, I'll do 2 for today. And then I like to use this sort of flat top kabuki brush just around my mouth, just to really pack on that color and cover up any of the orange. So I just dot this all on my chin and around my mouth, just anywhere that I put the color corrector, and you can already see like how great that coverage is. And then I'm just going to take my beauty blender just to remove any like brush strokes or anything like that. And then for the rest of my face, I also use the Beauty Blender. I feel like this just gives the most flawless skin-like finish. It also makes sure you don't apply too much foundation and look extra cakey. It's just honestly my favorite tool for anything to do with the face, basically, and I absolutely love it and definitely recommend it to anyone that was interested in getting it and wondering whether like maybe the knockoffs were better or anything like that. I honestly have tried it all. I've tried the Real Techniques one, I've tried the knockoffs, I've tried the original one, and the original one is definitely worth the money. I start off with a really light layer, and if I need more coverage, which is usually not the case, then I will add more, but I personally like to add just a bit because I feel like that just makes it more flawless. But by all means, if you feel like you need more coverage than what I'm placing, then do you, boo. Just put as much freaking coverage as you want. I feel like I forgot to mention, but the shade that I use is in 460 Suede W. So for concealer, I have a bit of a different technique than most people. I like to go in with 2 different ones. So the first one is my Maybelline Fit Me in 30 Cafe. This one is more just for concealing my under eyes, not so much highlighting, but I like to go in with a highlighting concealer over top that. And traditionally I usually use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Cool Tan, but today I'm actually going to use a new concealer because I want to try it out. This is the new Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I believe this is coming out June 15th. It's not technically in stores yet, but I wanted to try it out for today because I haven't used it yet. So this one is in the shade Tan. I got one that is more like a highlighting shade, so I'm going to use that today. So first I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me. And I just kind of go in a very rough triangular shape, as you can see. And then right over top that I go on with my highlighting concealer. So, whoops, my beauty blender just fell. But yeah, this is the Too Faced Born This Way, and I just do 3 little stripes just like that, and let's see how this works. I just like to give my beauty blender an extra spritz of moisture because I like to make sure my beauty blender is extra moist, I hate that word, but extra damp when I'm going out and blending out my concealer. This concealer smells like coconuts, just like my primer. It smells really good. And then I use the butt of my beauty blender just to make sure there's no harsh lines of the concealer around my face. I'm also going to take a bit of the Born This Way concealer on my forehead, as well as on the bridge of my nose, and then a bit on my chin as well. So now moving on to my favorite part, which is cooking / baking, and is also the part that I feel like is the most crucial step into making your foundation look absolutely flawless. And I'm going to be using the RCMA No Color Powder for that. I love this powder. I feel like it is the best translucent setting powder, and it literally makes your skin look airbrushed. So I'm going to be using my beauty blender just to bake underneath my eyes, because if I don't do that, my eye underneath my eye will crease so badly. And a lot of people ask me how I prevent my under eyes from creasing, and it is honestly this powder. I just cake it on and wait 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm telling you, your under eyes will not budge. I also like to take a bit of that RCMA No Color Powder on that same beauty blender, and I just take a little bit and set all around my face as well. Because this powder is very, very finely milled, I don't know, it just creates a very, very flawless finish to your skin. So I just like to dab this into my skin. I don't really like to bake my entire face. I mostly just focus on my under eyes, but I do like to work that powder into the rest of my skin as well. So while this is baking and cooking on my skin, I'm going to go ahead and put some eyeshadow on. A great thing about baking is that it also catches any fallout, because once you brush it away, the fallout kind of brushes away as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we will be right back to finish off the rest of the skin. So it's been about 10 minutes, and now it is time to wipe this all off. But as you can see right around here, hopefully the camera's picking it up, but a lot of the oils in my skin have actually come out from the baking. So that is kind of what creates that flawless, poreless look underneath your eyes, and it really, really does work. So I love it. But to wipe this all off, I actually like to use a powder. This is the MAC Studio Fix powder in NW40, and I'm just going to take a bit of that and just begin dusting all of that powder off. So now to bring the warmth back into my skin, I like to take a bronzer. This one is my favorite. It's by Inglot, the HD Sculpting Powder in 512, and I like to take this brush. This is the EcoTools Airbrush Finishing Brush, and I just like to bronze my skin. I also like to bring this onto my forehead. And then to actually contour my face, this is my favorite powder to use. It's by MAKEUPGEEK in Complicated in their cool medium contour shade. And I'm just using this angled brush just to chisel out my cheekbones. And then I like to take a smaller angled brush just to contour my nose. This one is by EcoTools, their angled crease brush. For blush, I'm going to be using this one by City Color. It's their Be Matte blush in the shade Guava. My blush really varies depending on my mood / like depending on the makeup look that I'm wearing. So this part changes a lot, but everything else is pretty much the same. And then my favorite part of the entire look is obviously highlighting. I like to use 2 different highlights. The first one I like to use is Shaft of Gold by MAC. This one is more of a glow from within sort of look. It's a deeper bronze shade, so on deeper skin tones it just looks like a very, very nice subtle highlight. But then I like to go over top with Champagne Pop, which is kind of that, you know, highlight on fleek type of highlight, and it just makes the look more, I don't know, it looks amazing together. They're just like my favorite 2 highlights to pair together. I just realized that I totally forgot to bake in the most important spot, which is around my smile lines. If I don't bake those areas, I will have the worst creasing around there. So it's kind of the end of the makeup tutorial, but I'm gonna edit anyways, just so you guys know that it is a very important step in my makeup routine. Okay, and I'm just going to dust that off real quick. And now we can finally finish off the face with my Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. Alright, so this is the completed face. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching my flawless foundation routine video. If you guys did, please make sure to give it a like. I'd really appreciate that. And if you're just checking out my channel for the first time, please make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any more videos from me. If you guys are wondering what is on my lips, I am wearing MAC's Fashion Revival. Nope, just kidding. It's called Evening Rendezvous. I forget what collection this came out from, but I believe it might be discontinued. I'm not really sure. But that is what I'm wearing on my lips. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!